Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to look at 7 steps to make your drone videos look more cinematic, like this. Number 1, consistent motions. You need to have consistent motions in your drone videos. This is the first thing that separates the beginner from the professional. Smooth motions give a more cinematic look and help the viewer stay in the moment. A nice way to practice consistent motions is to manually orbit around objects. This helps you get familiar with the controller and makes you a better drone pilot. I try to get at least 10 seconds of one motion so that I have a nice clip to play with in editing. Of course, no one has consistent motions all the time, but cut out the jerky motions in editing so that your final product looks smooth. Number 2, tell a story. Storytelling is a big part of all kinds of filmmaking. In drone videos, there are different ways to tell a story, but here are a few tips. Having moving objects in your scene creates a sense of imagination for the viewer. Where is this sailboat going? Who is on it? How do they feel in this amazing moment of midnight sun? Another way to tell stories is to keep the viewer interested. Don't reveal everything in the first frame. Let the viewer wonder what is going to happen next. Here you can, for instance, use a reveal shot. A sequence of clips can also be used to tell the story. Start off with an overview shot before going closer to reveal the object, and maybe a shot where you fly away in the end to show that we are leaving this part of the story. Number 3, location and lighting. Where you are and at what time of day you are flying is an important part of what makes a cinematic video. I'm lucky to live in Norway with beautiful surroundings, but I believe every location can be amazing in its own way. Try finding interesting objects, shapes, or stories in the location you're flying. Around sunrise and sunset is often the best time to shoot. Then you get this nice light and long shadows. In the middle of the day, the light can be a bit harsh. If you do shoot during the middle of the day, make sure you point your drone away from the sun to get the nice colors on the landscape. Number 4, settings. If your motions, storytelling, and location are set, then you need to get your settings right. These settings can depend on what drone you're flying, but there are some basic settings that could be useful. Set your shutter to double your frame rate. I shoot in most of my clips in 24 FPS, so my shutter is 150. This is to get the most natural motion blur. Your ISO should be as low as possible. This is to avoid grainy footage. Mine is at 100. If your drone has a fixed aperture, you may need some ND filters to use these settings, but it is worth it in my opinion. Apart from this, I always shoot in 4K. And I use the D-Log color profile if possible to have more flexibility when color grading. My advice is to use an hour or two to get the settings right before you start shooting a lot of stuff. You won't regret it. Number 5, different shots. To keep the viewer interested, it is important to use different kinds of shots when you are filming. Show the location from different angles and use multiple techniques when flying. Most drones can do a lot more than flying up, down, forwards, and backwards. Be creative and try new motions to avoid boring videos. Depending on the mood you are trying to make in the video, you should be aware of the pacing. Few people want to see a 20-second clip of the same. I often use the beat of the music to help me know when to change to another clip. Number 6, music and sound effects. Using the right music and sound effects can add to the viewer's experience. Choose music that fits the clips and the pace of the video. I often find a song I like before I start filming. This way I have the music in mind when flying my drone. For me, it helps my creativity to have the music planned early in the process of making a video. Done right, sound effects could be a great addition to your video. It is a bit of work, but if you make it sound natural, it can absolutely improve your project. I get all my music and sound effects from Epidemic Sound. Click my link below for a free trial. Number 7, color grading. Lastly, you should color grade your clips. Depending on the style of your project, some color grading might be necessary to have a continuous look throughout the video. The art of color grading is tricky. Be careful not to oversaturate your clips and make them seem unnatural. If your drone has the option to shoot in a color profile like D-Cinelike or D-Log, it is a nice way to learn color grading and gives you more flexibility in post-production. So that is my 7 steps for making more cinematic drone videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. Be sure to subscribe and leave a comment if you want to see more videos like this. And until next time, have a great day.